Welcome back. Today we are checking out a showroom tour from Gül Natural Furniture, an olive wood with clear epoxy dining table. That's a stunning piece. The olive wood has these warm golden tones with darker streaks running through it, and the clear epoxy in between almost makes the wood feel like it's floating. Here's the olive wood up close. I love how olive has this kind of marble grain. You don't see that in walnut or oak. It feels very natural but still classy. Honestly, this is a wood that already makes a statement even before the epoxy. Look at that grain detail. You can tell they polished it well because the surface has that glass-like reflection. The finishing highlights every swell and curl of the grain. That's what separates a good epoxy table from a great one. Edges look smooth, which I appreciate. No sharp transition, no resin overflow. It's clean. That kind of detail takes patience during sanding and finishing. Big respect to the craftsmanship here. A handcrafted walnut epoxy table. This thing is a statement piece. That rich walnut slab instantly gives it a premium vibe, and paired with epoxy, it feels both modern and timeless. Take a look at that walnut. You can tell it's high quality just by the grain pattern. Walnut always has that deep chocolate tone with lighter streaks that catch the light. It's classy without even trying. Now, this is different. Check out those legs. A rotating design with clear epoxy and wood accents. It's almost sculptural. Normally, you see standard metal legs, but this, it's more like functional art. Seeing it in a star room really shows how versatile it is. You could put this in a modern luxury space or even in a rustic loft, and it will still look right at home. So this table measures about 67 by 37 inches. That is a solid mid to large dining size. Big enough for family dinners, but not so oversized that it feels out of place in a smaller home. A handcrafted dining table made with juniper wood and clear epoxy. Right off the bat, this looks super sleek. That clear epoxy almost makes it feel like the wood is floating in mid-air. It got that crisp balance between rustic and modern that I really like. Juniper is such an underrated choice for epoxy tables. You can see all those natural curves and knots. It got a wild organic grain that really comes alive when paired with clear resin. Not every wood works well with epoxy, but juniper has that raw character that makes it pop. Check out that grain detail. You can tell they really took time to sand this down perfectly smooth, no cloudiness in the resin. The polish looks crystal clear, and the wood oil pattern almost looks like brush strokes in a painting. Edges can make or break a resin table. Here, they've gone with a really clean straight edge finish instead of something more live edge. It gives the whole piece a modern dining table vibe instead of rustic farmhouse. Honestly, I think it works well with a clear resin. Seeing it in a real dining space makes a huge difference. The clear resin allows the table to feel lighter visually, so even though it's a big slab, it doesn't overwhelm the room. You could pair this with modern chairs or even rustic leather seats and it will still work. Good size here, 70.9 by 35.4. That's perfect for sitting sits comfortably without eating up your entire dining space. It's a practical size that actually works for real homes. A walnut wood clear resin tabletop. That walnut grain just pops right away, and the clear resin in the middle really gives it that floating wood-like. It's simple, but sometimes simple is what makes a design timeless. You can tell they picked a nice slab here. Walnut always had that warm, rich tone, and paired with clear resin, it really shines without needing too much extra. Interesting choice here. They went with wood legs instead of metal. That makes the whole table feel more natural, almost like one continuous piece instead of two different styles battling each other. I like that. It keeps the focus on the walnut. Edges look polished and smooth. No cloudiness or sanding marks. That crisp edge against the resin is what separates an amateur finish from a professional one. Seeing it in a real living room setup is super helpful. This one feels like it fits in both modern and rustic spaces because of the clean resin and the natural walnut. Walnut root epoxy coffee table. That's a bold piece. Walnut root always has that organic, almost sculptural feel, and pairing it with epoxy really gives it a modern twist. Right away, it looks like a mix of natural art and functional furniture. Now, check out these walnut roots. Unlike a straight slab, the root has all these natural curves, voids, and textures. That's what makes it unpredictable. Every knot and swirl tells a story, and honestly, you can't replicate this kind of detail in a factory-made table. Look at those swirls and grain patterns. The finishing here is super smooth, and it really brings out the dent in the wood. You can see where the resin flows into the natural voids. That's not easy to pull off without getting bubbles or uneven curing. So the legs, interesting choice. It looks stylish. Personally, I think the base works because it doesn't take attention away from the roots. With a piece of this dramatic on top, you want the legs to stay supportive but not flashy. Edges are clean and polished. That's a detail a lot of people overlook. If the finishing isn't done right, you notice sharp transitions or dull spots. Here, it's consistent, glossy, and professional. Seeing it in a living room setting makes a big difference. Suddenly, it's not just a piece of wood and resin. You can tell the coffee table becomes a centerpiece, something people notice the second time they walk in. Every table had its own personality. Personally, I'm leaning toward the walnut root coffee table as my favorite. It just has so much character. But at the same time, I really appreciate how the olive wood dining table kept things clean and classy while still standing out. Let me know in the comments which table stood out the most to you. Thank you for watching and subscribe to the channel.